Shabbat Shalom. I'm regularly astounded by the fact that our texts, our Torah, and the teaching of the rabbis and the texts that follow seem to be ancient wisdom, but they're so relevant to our lives today. In this week's Torah reading, there's a little passage that kind of blew me away when I read it in light of the times that we are living in this country. I'm not referring to COVID-19, but rather I'm referring to the racial issues that we're being faced with and the challenges regarding civil rights. So in the Torah reading, we find that Aaron and Miriam, Moses' brother and sister, are critical of Moses for marrying a Cushite woman. Now, we're not quite sure if the Cushite is referencing a woman who is of darker color or if it's an ethnic thing. The Cushite could have been the Ethiopian or could have been a Nubian. In any case, they are harsh in their judgment. It takes a force no less than the power of God to come down and let them know just how wrong they were. And he imposes a punishment upon them for that type of judgment. So the Torah is really clear in this area. There's a very beautiful midrash about the creation of the first man, the creation of Adam out of the dust of the earth. The rabbis ask the question, where does the dust come from? And they answer, the dust comes from the four corners of the world. There's red dust from the west, and there's yellow dust from the east, and there's brown dust from the north, and there's black dust from the south. And all of those come together for the creation of a human being. It's meant to teach a lesson, and the lesson is that there's something common about all of humanity. And yet we know that there are differences in tribes and ethnicities and national affiliations and in religions. And so it's in that we are challenged to be open-minded and open-hearted, to be able to develop some empathy and knowledge, understanding what other people's conditions are about, what are the histories of people that bring them to the place where they're in, and then to create some aspiration of a time when people are treated fairly, that the wrongs of the past are redressed, and that the future, aspirations for the future are expressed to create a better world. And what's a better world? It's a world where there is justice for all. It's a world where there's freedom. It's a world where there's respect. To do that, I think all of us are called upon to create and develop more empathy within ourselves, to be able to understand our own shortcomings, our own failures, our own prejudices. But I think we all have the capacity to do that. The changes that are necessary, though, aren't just changes in ourselves, but there are societal changes, and that's going to take hard work, and I'm hoping that we will be a part of that. Before I conclude, I do want to say that the news about COVID-19 in this country and even locally has not been good this week. Clearly, we are back at a place where the number of cases is beginning to spike again. And so I just want to encourage everyone to to find within themselves the patience, to stay careful, to stay at home, to stay socially distanced, to wear masks, to continue to do what you need to do. We're really strong, and at the end of the day, we're going to get through this, and we're going to learn a lot of lessons from a lot of the challenges of these days. Shabbat Shalom to you all.